Welcome back to Diving Into Watches. And this week we are taking a look at, it is a dive watch, but it's a dive watch made by a small manufacturer. I wouldn't say he's a manufacturer. I'd say he's an independent watchmaker. I don't even know if you call him independent, micro brand, whatever, but he makes very, very limited pieces. The watch company is called Shiro Kara Watches. I'll put some information down in the bio, and then I'll be throwing some pictures up of the watches as I talk here in the beginning. Um, the particular watch we're talking about, he makes watches that are designed off of and draws DNA and influences from watches from the 60s and the 70s, like the Rolex, the Tudors, the Blancpain, lines of those. They're not homages. They are, I would call them a homage watch. So he draws influence from those and uses those designs and those styles to make his own inspirations. You'll have to see in the watch how unique they are, and in the photos you can see how unique they are. They look like they're right out of the 60s and 70s. I've been following Shiro Kara for about, I want to say, maybe it's about a year now on Instagram. He would post stuff and kept asking, when you gonna have a website, when you gonna sell, and they're working to it. So when they were finally ready to release this particular watch that we got, he only made 5 of them. And I say he because I'm assuming it's a he. It could be a she. So, pardon me if it's not.
Nothing. Listen, I'm sorry.
I'm assuming it's one person, maybe a couple people. On their website, there's not a lot of information about them, but they're based out of Tokyo, Japan. And the watch just exudes that 60s, 70s vibe. A lot of the writing on it's in Japanese. There's some English. It looks like something that somebody would wore. If Godzilla was around, it was this watch when they were fighting Godzilla, or they were wearing this watch pearl diving or skin diving in the Sea of Japan. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It has an aged patina to it, which they're really good at. Some people like that type of thing, and some people hate it. I don't dislike it. Because it's not being passed off as original patina. It says it is a patina aged design, but it's done very, very, very well. The watch wears comfortably. It just exudes that era, that century, that time. The craftsmanship is quality. One of the things I noticed, other than it only makes 5 of these, he only makes, this one's called a vintage Cook line. I can't remember the style, but there's only 5 of them. When I ordered mine was number 1 of 5. So he only makes, and he's got different watches he makes, but only makes 5. And then he moves on to make something else. So it's very, very, I wouldn't even smell a small batch. I mean, what do you call 5? I mean, it's very, very limited quantity. I was very thrilled to be the number 1 out of 5 on this particular one. The domed acrylic, but the thing I was going to say earlier that I noticed was almost every single dive watch out there nowadays is made out of 3/16 L stainless steel, which is kind of the industry standard. Everything from your Clamage knockoff watches that the Chinese make, the San Martins, the Sea Sterns, the Surges, whatever, they're all 16th. Even your higher end ones, are all 3/16 L steel. So it's not just to the lower end watches, but this particular watch, and there's a few that do it, and I think the reason modern watches do it is because this particular steel costs more money. It's much more anti-corrosive to things like salt water and whatnot, but it's 904 stainless steel, and so that just adds another little icing on it, just to make it a little bit more unique, a little bit different.
Icing on the cake. Check it out.
And I find that very, very cool that they would use a different metal than the standard, 3/16 L stainless steel. They went 904. There's another watch that I can't think of the name of it, but there's not a lot of watch companies that do 904 steel. Let me know if you have a watch in 904 steel, or to you do you think, put down in the comments, does 904 steel or 3/16 steel make a difference to you? I mean, you're just like, well, whatever, no big deal. Because a lot of people are always all about the specs, and specs are great and all. And everybody talks about the value for the specs, but you can get value. You can get great value spec'd out watches, but that's not all that makes a watch. I mean, these watches, when you look at it, small batch 5 watches, one person making them. The heart and soul of this person went into these watches, and they're not mass produced on a mass level. So I don't even know what you would call custom. I don't even say custom one-off watches. I don't know how you would even classify Shiro Kara watches. because of each one you go look on the website, there's five. There's five of that one, five of that one, five of that one. That's it. So, but the minute I saw the watch, I just was just absolutely fascinated by it because of the look, the feel, the style, the decade, the era that it exuded, the 60s and 70s, where everything was happening, everything was taking off. We were going to the moon, we were exploring the bottom of the oceans. Exploration was everything. We're going to the top of the mountains. We were going to the South America. We were going to Antarctic, the North Pole. You name it. Exploration was what it was all about in the 60s and 70s. And this watch just gives you that feeling. And it's a watch that I love to wear all the time. It is not a big watch, and it's definitely not small. It's 39.5. So it's light in that sweet spot of these larger watches nowadays. So without further ado, let's go over to the bench and let's do a much more in-depth, closer look at the Shiro Kara watch from Tokyo, Japan. And I'm really interested in what you all think and what your opinions are on it. Would this be a watch that you guys would want to pick up? Let me know if you have one of these. If you picked up, what do you think is great or not great about this watch? And I will tell you the things I like about it. There's some things I don't like about it. And we'll put it on the time grapher to see how the movement inside that's running it is working. It's a very, very standard movement. And we'll talk about it over the bench. Without further ado, let's go over to the bench and let's take a look at the Shiro Kara Grand Lined Sub Dial Sub Watch up depth and in close. Okay, here we are up close in person with the Shiro Kara Watch Company's Grand Lined Submariner style. You can definitely see the Rolex DNA influence, the Tudor influence. You can definitely see that in the design. But before we get into all the coolness of it, let's go ahead and knock out the dimensions real fast. It is a case diameter of 39.5 millimeters. It is really the sweet spot there. It is a lug to lug of 48 millimeters. It is a case thickness of 16 millimeters, and it is a lug to lug. It's a lug of 20 millimeters. It is 100 meters water resistance or 300 feet. As I stated earlier, it's 904 stainless steel, and it is a domed crystal acrylic. Is it a domed acrylic? Not crystal, but a domed acrylic glass. I'm just going to say glass. My mind is blanking. I want to say sapphire, but it's not sapphire. And you can actually see some scratches up on there because it is domed acrylic. So it is going to be subject to getting dings. But looking at it close here, it is an aluminum bezel. It's 120 click unidirectional. And it's very, very smooth. Very, very nice. Nice, easy clicks. QC lines right up back at the top. You can see there is no AR coating, so you're going to get a lot of reflection in it, but it is easy to read. It is a kind of a coin-edged bezel. The thickness the reason it's so thick is because of that domed acrylic glass on top. You can see just how much it stands up, and that is definitely of the style of the time. And then it has drilled end links. And then on the crown, it is an unmarked crown. It has nice knurling on it, makes it very, very comfortable to get a hold of. It has exceptional crown guards here that definitely protrude out and definitely take care of that crown guard. It has the Rolex style back on it, and then it has polished on the sides and then brushed on the top case, and then the bracelet is all polished with these rivet sides on here. They are screw-in end links. They are not a pin and collar. These are actual screw-in end links. So you have to unscrew them, screw them in. There is no full over clasp. It's a double deployment release with a milled clasp. And that is really super nice. It does not have a diver's extension. It is just a two adjustments here. I was actually able to dial this in very, very nicely on my wrist, a 6 1/4 inch wrist. But you may have a little bit of a challenge because there is no half links. I didn't have any issues with it. It's holding up very, very nice, very, very comfortable. It's the patina is very, very cool. I love the style of it. I love that Shiro Kara is in Japanese, and then you can see the logo of the company. And then you get down here in red, it says Submariner, Grand Line, Superlative Chronometer. I know this is no way this is superlative chronometer. This has not been tested to that level. So I just think that's just added as part of the flair of that time. And then you can see the patinaed hands, the seconds hand, and then the indices. Those are applied. I'm sorry, those are printed, not applied. And then you, as I said, you have the aluminum bezel, the blue aluminum bezel here. He does make ones with ceramic bezels in it. It is a female end links on it, so it does fit very comfortably on the watch. One of the issues I have when it's on my wrist, oh no, it's actually doing it, is one of these end links was getting stuck and it wasn't folding over like the other ones were, but now it is. So it probably just had to get somewhere. But one of them was not. Yeah, see, there it goes. See how that one's folding in, and that one's folding down, and then this one's not. So I don't know what the deal is, but this end link here, right here, this female one folds just fine. This one over here, there it goes. So now it is. So it's catching on something. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it's catching, but it's working just fine now. So that would probably be my only moan on it. I don't have any gripes about the watch. The movement is typical Seiko NH35. Of course, being a Japanese watch, why would it not have a NH35 in it? Due to the company being so small and only making such small batches, I would not expect it to have an in-house movement. We will throw it on the time grapher to see how this NH35 is doing and see if he regulates them or not. The price on the website, I want to say, is $450 or $488. Now, some say, oh, that's kind of a bit pricey for this watch, but you got to remember, 5 only, 904 stainless steel, not 316 stainless steel. Now, some people say, "Oh, but you're not getting sapphire." You got to understand that the watch, what the design is representing, the time period is representing, and what it is. And I think I'm okay with that. I don't. The price is a little on the high side because if you're going strictly off of, well, it's not ceramic, it's not sapphire. Okay, then go buy your San Martin. Go buy something that's not unique, that's not one of, there's one off, not mass produced. I think that's what the appeal to this was the thought that went into it, the design, that domed acrylic, the materials used were kind of, like the acrylic are period correct. I don't know if 904 or 316 stainless steel was period corrected back then, but I just think it's just a really, really cool watch. It's a unique watch. Everybody that sees it, that knows the watch, looks at it and says, man, that is cool. I've never seen a watch like that. Who makes that? And I tell them, they check out their website and they're like, wow, they only make 5 of each. So very, very small production. So let's go ahead and get this on the time grapher. Then we'll take it off. We'll give you some wrist shots, and then we'll wrap it up and tell you what my final thoughts are on this one. Okay, here we are on the time grapher. We're going to let it get going here. This line is looking really good. 0 second beat error, 21,600 beats per second, 52 lift angle. First test is 22 seconds. Second test is 17 seconds. Third test is 17 seconds. Fourth test is 17 seconds. Now, some would say that's not good, but if you have an NH35, that is well within tolerance. Minus 40 to plus 50, or minus 15 to plus 40 a day is exactly what an NH35. Could I open that up and regulate that? Absolutely. But 0 beat error, 244 beats amplitude, and then 17. So you're averaging 17. I'll let it go here on mute, and we'll let it run another test. I have not worn this one, so it's not fully wound. It's been worn for a few days. And like a car before it's warmed up, it runs much, much better once it's been worn. You can see that now we're at 19 seconds or 10 seconds. Second test, 10 seconds. Third test, 17 seconds. And then the fourth and final test is 19 seconds. So I think that can be regulated out. That's not a big issue to me. For what the watch is, I'm okay with that. If you're not, you can definitely have that regulated out. I've regulated some of my Seiko NH35s down to plus or minus 1 second a day. But for me, that's just not that big of an issue, because when I wear it, I'll wear it for a couple days, and it's off for a week, and then I'll wear it for a couple days because I put a lot through rotation. So let's go ahead and take it off the time grapher, and then we will do a wrist check, and then we will show you what the watch looks like, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, before we throw it on the wrist, though, just a quick wristwatch check. I do have my Tudor Pelagos FXD on an NDC strap with the American flag on it. This is one of my 3, I have 3 Grail watches that I want. This is number 1 of 3. I haven't gotten the other 2 yet. and I wear the hell out of this watch. I love this watch. I will eventually be doing a watch on this one. I mean, a review on this watch. This watch gets a lot of wear, but of course, I am absolutely just loving this watch and everything about it. So I will eventually put one up. But without further ado, let's take a look at the other watch and see how it looks. Okay, there it is on my 6¼ inch wrist. It wears absolutely perfect. The lug to lug of 48 lets it lay absolutely beautifully on my wrist. It fits very, very comfortably. It's very light, very comfortable. Absolutely no issues, no overhangs. It looks absolutely killer. I just love that style of it. It just exudes, as I've said many times, it exudes that period of time. I'm very happy with the quality of the watch, other than this female end link over here sometimes sticking and not laying correctly on my wrist. That's the beauty of female end links, is it can take even like a 51, if it has female end links, they can make them lay on wrist very, very well. If you have a bigger wrist, I think that'll be just fine. I think anything above 7.5, 39 might be too small for you. But it seems like a lot of watch manufacturers are going back to the smaller watches, which I don't like anything smaller than a 39. I have a Nevada Gretchen Chrono King that I will be doing a review on. That is a 38, and even on 6¼ for me, it's just too small. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that watch, but I think it looks killer. Definitely, we'll have some pocket shots. You probably already shown them. Pocket shots, outside shots, sunshine shots. We will do a lume check here real quick so you can see the lume and see how good that works, and then we'll wrap it up. So let's go ahead and pop this off and do a lume shot. Okay, here is the lume. You can see it looks very good. It doesn't say on his website what they use, if it's Super Luminova or CB3 or CG3 or whatever it is, but it is very, very good. It glows very nice. When you've been out in the sun and come inside, it's just glowing crazy. It lasts through pretty much most of the night. It fades over time, but you can definitely see the hands and read the time, 4 or 5 hours later. It's not going to be this bright at all, but it does have definite glow to it, so you can read it many hours into the night. I think they did a very good job on the lume. No complaints there, absolutely at all. So let's put the lights back on and give you some last little details, and then we'll go over to the bench for the final review. If I had any complaints, and I don't know if I'd really call them a complaint, it's just this one end link doesn't seem to always want to click when it folds down, but it's doing it. The other thing to think about when you're thinking about this watch is it is domed acrylic, and acrylic is very subject to scratching. Now, what I do for work in facilities and working on buildings and stuff, I wear this watch doing it, and so that's just bound to get some scratches. But if this was going to be worn as a desk diver, I don't think you're going to have a lot of issues. But just be aware that anything acrylic, especially a dome like this one, this bezel is not protecting this acrylic at all, and it's going to take the majority of the wax and the scratches. So just be aware of that. That might be something they would upgrade in the future, but I know he was going for time period correct as much as possible as far as the look. But that would be cool in the future, is if that was a domed sapphire glass on there, but I don't know what that would change the overall price of the watch or make it too cost prohibitive. Because it is a relatively unknown company, not known, some people might be hesitant to pull the gun on it, but keep in mind the things you're getting is the period, the quality of the build, the 904 stainless steel. You're getting drilled end links. You're getting female end link. You're getting female end link here. And then these are screw-in end links on the watch for adjustments in here. So these are not pin and collars actual, so you have to screw them in. So I used a little blue Loctite to lock them in. Probably the only other complaint I'd have is there not enough here in the micro adjustment for not having half size. I wouldn't say it's a complaint, just be like a nice to have, because you need some more micro adjustments here. So some people might have some challenge dialing in the size, but didn't skimp on the bracelet at all. You've got a milled clasp here, not a stamped one. So that's awesome. So without further ado, let's go back over to the studio and give you my final thoughts and wrap up the review of the Shiro Kara Grand Line Submariner, homage to the 60s, 70s classic dive watch, skin diver watches of the time. All right, there you go, folks. There's an in-depth take a look at the Shiro Kara Watch Company's Submariner homage of the 60s, 70s style skin diver dive watches out of Japan. I think it's really, really cool. I think you should check out Shiro Kara watches. phenomenal quality. Very happy with the watch. Tell me what you think. You disagree? Do you think it's worth the money, or not going off of comparing it to other ones? As far as specs with the Sapphire. If you're going strictly off of specs, yes, there are cheaper watches out there with better specs, i.e., ceramic, bezel, sapphire crystal, etc. But for what it is, for what what they were building and what they were going after, do you think it was accomplished? Does it feel? Does it give that feel, that style, that look of that 60s, 70s skin diver, scuba diver watch of those eras? Screw down, the screw end links, the drilled end links, the female end links, the acrylic domed bezel, the aluminum bezel, that oyster style case, that Rolex Tudor oyster style case of the time. Do you think they hit it? Do you think this, with the Japanese influence, do you think that they hit that one? Let me know. Do you have one of these? Were you one of the ones to get one, or have you even heard of this company? Because I don't think you can truly compare this watch to the Surges, the Chinese homage watches that we see that prevalent today all over YouTube and Instagram. I don't think this one falls in that line. I think this falls in the realm of the truly independent small watchmaker. Maybe you disagree. I don't know. You tell me. I'm very, very happy with the watch. And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, folks, is just if you like the watch and you're happy with it, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter the watch brand. It doesn't matter the watch company. As long as because at the end of the day, someone's just going to see a watch and they probably don't even know what the hell you're wearing. All that matters is if you like it, because that's all that's important. And I love the watch, and I think it's good. I just wanted to bring you something different, something unique, something not even in the micro brand world, not even in the independent world, just truly small builders of watches. I think this is really cool because there's a lot of small builders out there, but they build modded Seiko style watches with non-OED dials on it that say Seiko, but they're not Seiko dials, and they build really cool stuff, but they're not a true independent watch in a sense. They're a modded watch, and there's a lot of out there, and they do a really great job. So I thought this one was just really unique. So tell me if I'm crazy, tell me if I'm off, or do you think this is a cool watch and you guys are going to go check out Shiro Kara? Let me know. Overall, I think they built a superlative watch. I'm very, very happy with it. I will not be getting rid of this watch. I will keep you this one, and I will wear it. It is in my rotation every couple of weeks for sure. But the Tudor definitely gets the mega wear of the watch. Guys, by the time this video drops, we'll probably be at 1,000 subscribers. We're sitting at 996 right now, and it's all because of you, because you appreciate the content we put out. You subscribe, you want to see it, so thank you. This channel cannot happen. This channel cannot exist without you, the subscribers. So from the bottom of this combat vet's heart, I appreciate you. I love you guys. I thank you for everything you guys do. I try to talk and answer every single one of your questions, good, bad, or indifferent. I love having conversations with you. I love when you guys pick up watches and you tell me you picked it up or what you thought, or you give me things. So tell me some different watches out there that I should take a look at that are like the Shiro Kara that you find unique, and I should take a look at. I'm talking to some other watch companies. I'm trying to get them to send me some samples of their watches so that I can share with you some really cool small manufacturers out there that are building some really cool stuff. But as I stated, once we hit 1,000, we're going to have a giveaway of one of my watches from a watch collection, and I'll pick one or two, and then I'll draw the winner and let you pick the one you want. So probably the next video after this one, we will be doing that. We'll be doing that announcement, and we'll be picking a drawing and giving a watch away. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Hit that subscribe button. That's what's helping us grow. Hit that thumbs up. It's pushing out that algorithm to the people who don't get to see this channel. So as always, stay safe, be honorable, do the right thing, be kind to others, because you don't know the battles they're fighting. Thank you again. And from this old combat vet, as always, I'm diving into watches, and I'm out.